G'day, I wanted to show you how you can investigate a superannuation fund, part of what we're going to have to do for this assignment. I'm going to investigate a different fund. I'm going to look at the Q Super Moderate Fund. So to start with, we're going to go to the Q Super website, and you might have to use a search engine to find this. Once you get to a superannuation website, often you're met by a number of different things. You might be met by educational articles, articles about what to do when you retire, stuff about different insurance options. But what we're really interested in investments. We want to know about what these investment options are within the fund. So if we click on investments, we can see that there's a bunch of different options. I think we said we were going to look at the moderate fund. So I'm going to go with that, and let's see what we can find out about it from this website. There's a little bit of a description of it first, but here's one of the first things we need to think about. One of those is the investment fees. The lower the investment fees, the less that's going to reduce the returns of a fund. So low fees are good. They're the fees you're paying to someone to manage your superannuation. I can tell you 0.24% is a very low fee. Now they talk about time frame. Remembering that the personnel case study has got a long time frame to investment, what a time frame means is it tries to give us an idea of how likely it is that there's going to be sharp falls in the value of your superannuation, like what happened during the global financial crisis, and how long it's going to take to recover. So a superannuation fund that is more moderate for shorter periods of time, like 3 years, is going to have more cash invested in it, because we know cash doesn't fall in value in the same way that investing in shares might. So we've looked at that first tab. Let's have a look at the performance and see what happens here. We can see investment returns over different years. Now, if they give you an option between accumulation and income or accumulation and pension or superannuation and pension, you're interested in the accumulation or the superannuation part of it. The income is the rate of return for the fund when it's actually paying money to people in retirement. So you've got a number of timeframes where you can compare, and hopefully you'll be able to contrast this with the other fund. So you've got two funds that you've got to weigh up and see if one is actually better than the other over time. A couple other things you may be interested in. If we go to asset allocation, that talks about what the fund is actually invested in. And in this case, we can see 60% nearly is invested in cash. We've got 16-17% in the middle here, invested in shares option, and the rest are in property, fixed interest, which is like term deposits, and two other asset classes, alternative assets. That might be things like forestry, plantations, and infrastructure. That'll be things like owning roads, toll roads, where people pay a toll. That gives an idea of what is in there. So there's a few different ways that you can compare a fund, or you can look and get some information about a fund. Remember, part of your job is going to be around communication, so you've got to think, how am I going to compare and show the reader the difference between the two funds? So that is going to be part of your challenge.